You never know what someone's going through in their day-to-day.
Made me reevaluate myself. He was sick. That's all.
Block this out. You lose yourself, but then you become the person you didn't want to become.
But seriously though, it is completely in your hands.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Loft. If you guys haven't yet, please like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000. Every subscription matters. Every new listener matters. Thank you guys for listening. If you're new, welcome. Our next guest has a positive clothing brand to raise awareness on the importance of mental health. Ladies and gentlemen, Conor Mchugh and Jose Buitrago. I couldn't say it the right way, but
it's all good, bro.
What's going on, boys?
How you doing?
Good, man. Good. Thank you guys for coming on the pod. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you having us.
Rocking the merch now. The shorts are comfy, showing the knees. You know, it's how I like it. But yeah, I wanted to thank you guys for coming on. I love what you guys are doing. Your brand is amazing. At the quality of it, I noticed is very good too. And first time I met you was at the tailgate. I've known you from basketball. You know my little cousin Drew.
Yeah, it's been some years now.
Yeah, so I think the message is great, but I wanted to dive deep into both of you guys, like in terms of where you guys came from, you know, the story behind CLR Mind, why you guys started, and how you two came together. So I guess I'll lead off with this. So, you know, how did you two meet?
I knew this was going to be asked. Too.
Yeah,
You didn't tell me, but
I had to,
I knew we were
right?
going to tell this story. I'll get into it and he can go.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
we tell everyone this because we get this a lot.
It's definitely not
Yeah.
like a way of having a clear mind.
So we were in 8th grade and I was with a couple of my boys from Ronhurst. Like I think we were just playing basketball or something.
Yeah.
At Fox Chase Rec, and it was snowing, and we're walking up and we just see like a group of kids and there's a fight. And of course it's Jose, and at the time he's probably 4'8", I don't know. He was like
so
little.
short.
And the kid he was fighting was like 5'10", like pretty big kid. So he
Yeah.
was, you know, he's never been scared of anyone. So.
Yeah.
So I'm watching it, and I have no idea who he is, and everyone's just kind of watching him, like, you know, get beat up.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
started getting whitewashed and shit.
So I don't know, I just hopped in, and I didn't fight, but I hopped in and like broke it up and was
Yeah.
like, "You cool?" and all this, and was like on his side, and we've been boys ever since.
Yeah, for real. We started
Hell
hanging
yeah.
out.
All right, so you guys have known each other for a minute.
Oh,
yeah, since
for
we were
sure.
13, probably.
Where'd you guys go to grade school?
I went to St. Cecilia's.
Cecilia's. Okay.
Yeah, I was New Foundations, but I was a Resurrection kid.
Okay, yeah, I'm a
Ronhurst.
Calvary boy.
Yeah,
in case you
right,
don't
yeah.
know, Jose, yeah. Nah, so 8th grade, you guys knew each other, and how old are you guys now?
23.
22.
23, 22.
About
Okay.
10 years now.
Oh wow. So when
Yeah,
did
that's wild. I never even looked at
long
it.
time, right? Yeah. So okay, so when did CLR Mind even become a concept? Like when did you guys have that conversation of like, oh, like let's like create a clothing brand?
So
Conor initially had the
yeah,
the first idea.
So I'm gonna get pretty deep into this because on the last podcast I didn't really talk about it, and I thought today would be kind of cool to really talk about like
No better place than the Loft, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
so 2020 my dad died.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I appreciate it. But my dad passed away, and it was kind of a rough type of thing where I had to like make the final call. Like I was at work, and you know, so that was rough at the time. And then I had surgery on my shoulder about 2 weeks later. My shoulder came out, which is like a reoccurring thing from basketball. So and it was in the middle of COVID, like literally May 2020.
Couldn't get any worse for you, right?
Yeah. So it was terrible. Just a bunch of stuff, and I got on Zoloft, which is depression and anxiety medicine, and that made me go nuts, like really bad, like drinking, fighting, just being an idiot, you know, having mood swings, all this stuff. So one day I was just sitting on my couch, like depressed,
Yeah.
and had an idea and made a couple concepts, and I was in a fraternity at school, SIG at Westchester.
Westchester? Okay.
Yeah, shout out all my boys there, like great ass kids.
Yeah.
But talked to a couple kids there, showed them the concept. They liked it. So I made 24 crew necks. This is before Jose got in. So I made 24 crew necks. And it took me like a month to sell just 20,
Yeah.
you know, basic things. And obviously all the kids that bought it were my frat, like brothers. So
I mean, was it CLR Mind?
it was CLR Mind. It was that logo right there.
Okay.
2020,
Yeah,
just made it up.
G1.
And then I made like 1 or 2 more drops. Started, you know, not really like it was kind of like honestly I made it for myself
Yeah.
to feel better.
Yep.
And then after I realized that other people were looking at the brand, not looking at Conor,
Yep.
it turned into, I was like, okay, I'm gonna run with this thing. Like,
It's amazing.
so it's kind of a reminder. Like, I can't be a hypocrite because, yeah, there was times at school, like you're in college, you know, you feel like an idiot, like doing dumb stuff.
I mean, it's part of college.
Yeah,
You know?
but
It's
then,
part of life, honestly.
It's part of life, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like,
part
no
of
matter
life.
how hard you try to be good, you're gonna fuck up.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
You're supposed to fuck up.
exactly.
That's the part that
Then,
everyone forgets.
Yeah, obviously we always fuck up. Everyone fucks up. It's life. But Jose, like Jose's been my best friend forever now, and he just kind of said one day, like, "Yo, I really love it." Blah blah blah. We started talking, and I was like, "Dude, I would love for you to get into it with me. You know, I'm up at Westchester, and I need an audience in Philadelphia."
Yeah.
And that's kind of where he came in, and he could talk about that.
Hell
yeah. I mean, it was a little more of a conversation than that.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's those are the cliff notes. I understand.
Yeah.
That's like the dumbed down version.
Well, I'll say this before you go that it always starts with the people around you, right? You know, no matter what you're doing, whether it's a clothing brand or a podcast, the people that love you are the ones that are initially going to support you, and that's how it starts. And so, and I guess I'll ask this too, Conor, to you before I transition to you. Why Clear Mind?
Dude, I don't know. I do not know. It kind of just came to me one day. I was telling him earlier that I didn't even realize at first that the CM was kind of like a little Easter egg in it. Clear Mind, Conor McHugh, yeah. But I think I was messing around with a couple things. I had the first logo was like a brain with a smiley face.
Mm-hmm.
Then I thought about who's gonna wear a brain. Like, but there was a lot of different concepts, and then I kind of just stuck with it, and it's now like
Something that sticks.
like my nickname at school was literally Clear Mind Conor.
Hell yeah.
Like people I didn't know would come up to me. It was kind of cool. Like, yo, I love your brand. I was a waiter and I served one kid with a hoodie on. He had no idea who I was.
Oh shit.
And I told him after he was walking out the door, I was
Yeah.
like, I appreciate you supporting the brand.
Yeah.
He had no idea, so it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
and did all the adversity you were going through with your dad and with COVID in general, did that push you to making that? Like, did that make you pivot to something like such as Clear Mind?
Yeah. So my mom, going off of that, my mom got diagnosed with Alzheimer's in 2018 when I was a senior in high school. So that hit pretty hard. But the first thing I did was like, all right, how are we going to make this a positive? So I created the Kathy's Hope Foundation, which is still going. Every year we've raised close to 10K every walk.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it's been like 5 years now, or 4 years. So I kind of, had a negative, turned it into a positive right away.
Yeah.
So I kind of did the same thing with my dad. Had that negative and just, I guess, had the experience from what I did before with my mom.
Yeah.
And then kind of put that in the Clear Mind and made it a positive.
It's amazing. And so Jose saw this and you were interested in it. So where do you come in?
Like, where did I like?
So obviously Clear Mind, which was started, right? You were handing out your first concept T-shirts and you wanted to get involved. So from there on, how did this brand grow to the level that it is? You know, guys are almost at 1,000 Instagram followers, which is awesome, which is very hard for a clothing brand. And to see the people who support you and the constant support you guys have, it's impressive, So I'm curious to know, like, when you came in, where did you take it from there? Like, how did this grow from there?
Well, I when I found out like why he was doing all this stuff, it like blew my mind because I was also going through a bunch of shit at the time. Like, my whole life I've always went through like a bunch of shit and I've never really talked to anybody about it.
Right.
And this is like really when like mental health started like being
A thing.
not advertised, but like, being talked about.
It became necessary.
Brought to light.
It became necessary.
Yeah, for real. Like all these NFL players were coming out talking about it, like celebrities, and I needed somebody to really talk to it about it. I had a couple other like really good friends that I obviously like bounced around some questions with, but I've related to him more like the way we were raised and like certain family situations that he's had that I've also had.
Right.
And I just like knowing why he created it, it just like it like sparked like a little fire in me, Like I really wanted to be a part of it because honestly, like making somebody laugh or like smile is like the best thing to me.
Yeah.
Like when somebody comes up to me and just like, dude, you're funny as shit. Like I'll do a little Spanish accent. Like, what are you doing? You know? And like people they just laugh, and it's like I take that and I don't know, like
it's fulfilling for you.
Yeah, it really is. Like
he was always the funniest kid in like high school and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean,
that's how he's known. Like, he's just hilarious.
It's interesting though, right? Because you guys were you were known as the funny kid in high school, and you played basketball, and it's like it's funny how the transition happens from like, because I always say this, that life isn't, you're thrown into the grade school, the high school, and it's like it's not that deep, right? It's like and then life starts to kind of happen, and everyone starts taking different paths. And it's just interesting to see where people go, and to see people turn their negatives into positives, or to go from being a quote unquote class clown to now being someone that someone can look up to, right? That this brand is a lot more than the both of you, and I'm sure you both know that. It's like you're building a life of its own for it, and what, so you mentioned that you and Conor had sort of a similar upbringing. So what are some of the things that you went through that are very
Well, I was
open up.
Yeah, I fucking
He never
open
opens up.
I really don't. Like that's the thing about me. Like that I work with. Like even like with my girlfriend, like I do open up to her a lot, but it takes a lot. It takes a lot to open up.
Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, dude. My childhood was fucked up, bro. Like I was just like, my mom died when I was 5, so I was like really young.
Oh wow.
And my dad was never like in my life, like until he heard that my mom died. And then my aunt, who like really like raised me, who I also call my mom, is like, he tries taking her to like child custody court, fighting for me, like, but he really didn't want me. There was like a little backhand, like, social
right.
Like,
there was an ulterior motive.
Exactly. And but he put me through hell for 5 years of child custody court. Like I couldn't play sports because I had to go with him on the weekends.
Really?
Like, yeah, so it was just fucked, and he would always lie to me. But like as a young kid, like you're easy to get like manipulated.
Yeah, you don't know better.
Yeah, so he's telling me that they're lying to me. My mom's telling me he's lying. Like my aunt's telling me he's lying to me. So like I just never knew who to trust, and I never felt like I could tell somebody how I really felt, because I always felt like somebody would twist it up and like tell somebody else a different story, because that's all that I'm like receiving at the time,
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just childhood trauma, honestly. Like I'm way better at it now. Like
even that was probably like a huge step right there.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, like it's just,
yeah.
I've just been through so much shit, but like how I was saying, like you never notice, like a lot of people say it, like the happiest kid could also be the
saddest. And
exactly.
That's usually how it is. And it's interesting because, I always say this too. It's like, you never really know what someone's going through till you ask, right? I mean, like, me seeing you guys doing your thing, or me not really like, asking you guys, right? I don't know anything, right?
Yeah.
I don't know your reasoning behind what you do until you sit and have a conversation, right? And so if you don't mind me asking, so when you were going through these things, and obviously it seems like you're doing great now, which is, I'm so happy for you, genuinely. How did you like get yourself through that? What are some things that you've done to get yourself through those times when,
I think it's trial and error.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
For me, it was really like, I was always like, it all like connects, like suppressing shit, because like I was always just like, since I couldn't play sports on the weekends and shit, I would play video games a lot.
Right.
So like anytime like I would get a feeling, because I didn't really like my dad, so whenever I was with him and I would think about my aunt or like my family that I'm like close with now, my mom's side, I would just like immediately just go right to the video game. Like I wouldn't let myself like cry or like show fear, none of that, because he used to like he'd get fucking pissed, like to the point where he'd put his hands on me and shit.
Right.
So I'm like, I would always just run straight to the video game and clear my brain
Clear your
from
mind.
that. Yeah, exactly. Clear my mind. And that's really how like I really got through a lot of shit, was through video games. Now it's like still video games, but it's also like me reading, me exercising, just
being active, taking care of yourself.
Yeah, like trying to better myself, because I would never like want to put anybody through the pain that I suffered.
Right.
And
yeah.
like,
yeah, that's,
you know,
it's amazing. And that's crazy. Like I can only imagine, right, what you went through, and I have so much respect for people like yourself who were able to go through those things and get out of it and become a better version of themselves. You know, I feel like life, when you go through things like that, makes it very easy to just give up. You know, so I have a lot of respect for you for not giving up. And Conor, so when you're living through everything with your dad, like, and it's still pretty fresh. How did you put yourself in a position to have a clear mind, to be able to, like, move on, like, not move on, but like how to cope with it?
Ironically enough, my dad kind of taught me how to. Specifically, I said at his funeral, a wise man learns from others' mistakes, but a wise man learns from his mistakes, but a wiser man learns from others' mistakes.
Yeah.
So even growing up, he would tell me, because honestly, so my dad was a heroin addict. Like, my brother overdosed and died from heroin.
When was that?
Literally right before I was born. So,
oh wow.
and never, I mean, it messed with me a lot as a little kid, being an only child, always thinking like, well, I don't have a brother, blah, blah, blah. Like, I went to, like, therapy for that as, like, even at, like, 8, my mom was like, something's up with him. But, so he would always tell me, like, all the time. Like, I remember being in my basement or mowing the lawn, doing the wash. He's like, I'm not going to be here at your wedding one day, so you got to learn how to do this. Even, like, doing the dishes, like.
He just told you straight up?
Yeah, that's how I grew up. I'm not going to be at your wedding one day. You got to learn how to do this. Or, me and mommy aren't going to be around, blah, blah, blah. Like, stuff like that. He taught me, like, the values to be a man at, like, 5. Like, he'd sit me down and lecture me for, like, an hour.
Right.
And then if I didn't pay attention, he'd be like, repeat everything I just said to me. And if I couldn't repeat it, he'd say it all over again. And I had to repeat it and repeat it. And that was, like, weekly, like, a lot.
What are some things he instilled in you?
I mean, me and him talk about this all the time. I wasn't liked by I'm either loved or hated by most people. It's very funny.
Right.
Because I'm real. I think I'm very real. And that's kind of something he taught me, was always root for the underdog, like, literally how me and him met.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Be respectful, like, be it man, like, a lot of stuff around the house, like, just shit you're supposed to learn your whole life. I could tell he tried to wrap it up in, like, 10 years, like,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's kind of how I got my clear mind, I guess. I just had so much shit happen, and I learned so much at such a young age. Like, walking in, seeing him, like, overdosed right before basketball practice for Judge.
Yeah.
And then going to practice and having a bad night shooting.
Yeah.
Getting yelled at, getting benched. No one knows that,
Yeah, it's like something you really can't even open up about, and but that really builds your shell up. And do you ever feel like you felt like you couldn't tell people things? Did you ever feel like you had to be guarded?
Oh yeah, that's why I acted up so much in high school sophomore year. I failed 2 classes. Shout out Mr. Harrington, our disciplinarian at Judge.
Mr. Harrington and JD.
He at the time, he wasn't a counselor. He was like the disciplinarian. Like, he's a guy you don't want to go to his office.
Right.
But I went to his office to talk.
I wanted to go to his office.
Yeah. He helped me so much. Now he's actually a drug counselor. He's not even a disciplinarian anymore. I think
that's awesome.
He told me, like, my 4 years of talking to him made him do what he wanted to do, which was really cool.
That's great.
Still talk to him every now and then, but
he's like a black belt.
Yeah, I couldn't know. He's like the one dude I opened up to, basically.
It's amazing. So when you opened up to him, what are some things he told you that helped you?
Kind of just, he told me his story, like his. I'm not gonna get into his story, but he had family, that drug abuse and stuff. Right. And he just kind of told me how to make it a positive thing.
Right.
Basically stuff like that.
Isn't it insane though? Like, I'm out in Kensington every week, and I work with the Grace Project, which is a nonprofit that provides hope to people, and I deal with addiction a lot, right? I see it a lot, and people who are out in Kensington who are struggling with addiction. It's insane how much it can destroy a family, and it's like my uncle is in recovery.
I heard that on the Novak podcast.
Yeah,
he said that.
My uncle's in recovery, and it's like, it's crazy when you go from seeing him, like at the beach, and he's on drugs, and I was the only one that could tell, and this is before anyone really knew. And I told my mom about it on the beach. So it was probably like 6-7 years ago. I was young, and I told her, and I could just see tears coming down her eyes from her sunglasses. And it's like, it's just crazy how addiction can destroy a family, but it's also very important too to hold on to hope. You know what I mean? And just be there as much as you can. You know,
hope's a huge thing for us. Like, my mom's the foundation's called Kathy's Hope.
It's amazing.
I told my girlfriend,
mad props to Conor for the like.
Yeah.
He really jumped right on that. Soon as he found that shit out, he texted me. I don't know if he texted me. He might have called me or something.
Actually, I found out I was having a house party, and I used to have.
Oh shit!
I had a fuck ton of house parties in high school because I was acting up, because I was
exactly. Yeah.
I was always like,
he was.
I always had a good heart, but I didn't know how to.
I can relate to that. I'm sure you can too. Is I think you know what I'm saying? Like,
everybody wants to have a house party.
Exactly.
But this man just had the opportunities to do
exactly.
My mom was working 5 jobs, and I took advantage of her time not home, and I do regret that. But
you learn from it.
But as I was saying about the Alzheimer's, like how I keep getting off track.
Nah, you're good.
Right before I had a house party, I was cleaning the house up, moving everything, hiding the rooms, everything.
Yeah.
And I found a folder, and I never saw it before. It was like a bunch of documents, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, opened it up, went through it, and saw that my mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's like 3 months prior.
That's how you found out.
Yeah.
How old were you?
18. It was senior year of high school. Right, 10 minutes before people walked in the door. And I found out my mom has Alzheimer's from this document, and she was hiding it from me for about 3 or 4 months, and that's how strong she was. Because I would like yell at her. I mean, earlier in high school, I was a dick, but I would even be like, "What's wrong with you?" Like, cause like little things she couldn't do, and I'm like, like, "What's good with you?" Like, blah blah blah, being a little 16, 17-year-old impatient kid.
Yep.
But yeah, I saw that, and then like I said, I had the house party, and I just took out all that emotion and got hammered, and
dislocated his shoulder.
Dislocated my shoulder, punching a wall.
Yeah.
And then no one knew though. That's why I
didn't even know.
Well,
I don't think you told me till maybe the day after, actually.
I was that fucked me up for a little bit.
I mean, you gotta think too, like, for your mom to be that strong to know this for 3-4 months, and like, not tell anyone. You know what I mean? That's tough.
Dude, she's a rock. She had 5 jobs, like I said, when I was in high school.
That's insane.
Yeah, to get me through judge.
There's enough time in a day for that.
Yeah,
and
she's
like
a real one, dude.
The thing that messes me up is that she was an English teacher, right? And she used to after school she would go to special kids' houses and teach them like how to speak and teach them English and stuff. And now she's the one reading those books.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's like
full circle. What's your mom's name?
Kathy. Yeah, Kathy Mchugh.
Kathy Mchugh.
Kathy O'Brien.
Brian McHugh. If you're watching this, shout out to you.
Actually, I told her I might FaceTime her during the podcast.
Yeah, FaceTime her. Why not?
So she probably won't answer. But.
If you FaceTime it, screen record it and put it in the microphone.
Yeah.
I'll put it on the pod.
Yeah, but let's see if she answers. Probably not.
But Jose, like, it's wild how, and I'm sure you were a huge, crutch for him, right? You're there for him throughout everything.
Who, Conor?
Yeah.
Yeah. We beefed a little sometimes, bro, because like me and Conor would like clash heads because he was a, like, honestly, like, there was a bunch of like shit that I was doing in high school that I wasn't proud of myself for.
Right.
But like I was also being a little douchebag, just fighting, getting my anger out that I had from like my trauma.
Yeah. How did you
on other people?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. So, how did you handle that trauma and anger in high school?
Getting blacked out, smoking a lot of weed, drinking, and I don't know, dude. Like, it's just I did so much shit in high school that people should never do.
The reason I ask you this is I'll ask both of you is like, so what is it? What's your life like now? What are you doing now that's different from that? How did you improve on that?
Oh, dude, I had to really get like, I had a real big wake up call with this one situation I don't even want to like speak about, but I don't know. I haven't, like, I don't remember the last time that I've fought or like that I've ever tried to like make somebody feel bad. You know, like
right.
that's like a big thing. Like a big step for me is just like, I don't know, my temper. I've really controlled my temper. Drinking and like drugs and stuff, like yeah, I do them sometimes, but like I've came to the realization
You
that
gotta clarify the drugs part, by the way.
like smoking and shit.
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with, and I'll say this too. There's nothing wrong with drinking. I'm in dry January right now.
So am I.
So am I.
Hell yeah, boys.
Yeah.
So I'm in dry January, but like kind of like, but you guys like at Temple, I had the biggest party. I had the biggest party at the Temple, and for the Northeast, like all the Northeast kids came to my house every weekend, and like even to a degree, I still have people over. But like, you know, I always say that like you need to get that stuff out, right? Like even I started drinking junior year of high school. You know what I mean? Like, for me,
pretty late.
that's late, right? That's what I'm saying. So like, it's crazy, yeah, right? So it's like it's late. So it's like. So it's like you need to get it out of your system. And like in high school, I would have house parties too sometimes, and then in college, just forget about it. But
Game over.
But what really changed things for me, and I said this in my personal pod I'm putting out next week, is that I remember 2020, I had $5,000 in my account, and I went down the shore every single weekend, stayed at hotels, stayed at people's houses, and I never left the shore the entire summer because I lost all my gigs. I felt like I had nothing, you know what I mean? Like, and I was this person that I wasn't proud of. At the time, I had no idea. Looking back on it, I wasn't proud of it at all. And then, I come back from the summer, and the pod started in December, and it's like it's just how something just changes for you. Do you think running with Clear Mind and running with the brand that you're responsible for and that your name's attached to, do you feel like that gave you that responsibility to be better than you were?
100%.
Yeah, I 100%. Like I said, I wore my hoodies around and people recognized me at Westchester.
Yeah.
But there was a couple nights where I was wearing the hoodie, because like I said, college was hard. Like even though I had the brand going at like the beginning stages, I wouldn't say until maybe the last year has been like the brand.
Right. Exactly. And
not just doing shit to get by, and
right.
It was for mental health, and it still is.
Yeah.
But I think back then the motive was like, just do this, like
it's a side hustle.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
But it definitely was like it does mean something.
Absolutely.
But now it's like, all right, let me get my shit together. I feel like a hypocrite,
Right. And that happens too. Like whenever you're creating something, and that's like a part of the growing pains. I've learned that for the pod too. Like you have growing pains where you understand when you take yourself and your brand seriously is when things start to turn around. And because you have that side hustle, and like you're in school, so it's like you're not making money like you have a full-time job. So you're thinking, okay, how can I make money from this side hustle, and then also how can I do school, and how can I manage life, and especially the shit that you guys were going through and still go through. You don't take it as seriously, and then something always happens where it just clicks for you when you start seeing the success, or you start seeing the people are taking it seriously, like the way you wanted them to the whole time, is when things start to change for you. And I'm sure you guys can comment on that, but it's like I noticed even too when you were asking people questions about what do they do to get a clear mind, like it's a shit like that's cool, and that's super brand oriented, that is gonna work for you guys. And yeah, so it's like, what are you guys doing now to really push the brand? Like, how have you guys evolved Clear Mind?
Well, we actually just filmed a video with our boy J-Mac.
Should be out soon, yeah.
Yeah, it should be out soon. It was supposed to be out for the holidays, but like
computer
times hectic.
Tough.
Like his computer messed up and stuff.
Yep.
But we actually went out and we just walked around Target and seen like moms with like their kids, and like if they had a bunch of stuff in like their carts, and we went up to them and just asked them,
what's it mean?
What's it mean to have a clear mind to you? What are you gonna do this year coming up to have a clear mind? And what else did we ask them?
And then we just asked them like their plans for the holidays.
Oh yeah.
So then based off that, we saw like some single mothers, or like we had a family with like 5 kids. Like we gave them a little bit more, but basically walked around and gave out like $100, $50.
That's awesome.
Like, yeah.
I know why Mr.Beast does that shit, bro.
Yeah, it feels good.
It felt awesome.
Feels
Bro,
good, doesn't it?
It felt awesome. Like
My
I literally
neighbor-
almost cried to the one lady. Dude, I don't even want to spoil it.
Which one? The one I posted with her voice.
Yeah. Her shoot.
Yeah.
Dude,
something that was really cool.
it was crazy. It's her daughter's birthday. What
Her
else was she
son,
buying?
Her nephew's birthday. I don't know.
It's something so like pure about it, and it's like when you know that you're helping someone in a way that that means a lot to them, it's like it just feels good, and it's fulfilling, you know, and it's a good kind of fulfillment.
I think the best part about that day, at least for me, was so as we were leaving, we were like, all right, one more person, like, let's get out of here. Like, we ran out of money. Like, we had 100.
You don't want to, you know,
break the bank.
Break the bank.
It was
right?
like yeah, we broke it, but
Break the bank, but
so we were walking out, and I was walking past, and I like saw the back of this lady's hair, like long white hair or blonde, whatever.
he starts whispering to himself, Carrie?
I was like,
Carrie?
Nah, I was like,
Or what'd you say?
like, Terry?
Oh, Terry.
Like, I said it real low because I don't want to be like, hey, Terry, because I didn't know.
Yeah.
She turned around, and it ended up being, so my neighbor who lived next to me, where I grew up with my dad and my mom, like before he moved, she used to babysit me when I was a little kid. And she knew my dad, like, well, and my mom well. Like, when I was, like, real little in Rawhurst. And I saw her, and then I just asked her how she was doing. And I gave her $100, bought her cart, and she cried and was like, I've never won anything in my life. Like, she was like, I used to hold you when you were 2 pounds, and now you're buying my carts. Like, it was just awesome. Like,
you gotta remember, it's because of, you know, partially because of her that you are the great kid that you are. You know?
she's a
Plays
goat.
a role.
Yeah. It's interesting how the universe works. How, you know, someone that babysat you is now someone you're giving money to who it helps a lot, you know. So what are you guys doing this year? Reverse it on you guys. What are you guys doing this year to have a clear mind?
Well, to be honest, last year me and my boy Jakeman,
They were grinding.
We were grinding in the gym. That dude is, I'm telling you, David Goggins and Cameron Haynes, bro.
Yeah, Goggins is good.
He might be the next one for real.
Yeah, nah, he's up there.
Jakeman has a
he's
dude.
legit.
He is the shit for real. His mind is on a whole different level. Like, from anybody that I've ever spoken to, like, he's so motivated, and like that man is like really like he motivates the shit out of me for real.
Yeah.
Like,
What impresses me about him is that in high school he was just like, I knew him as a football player. I wasn't as close with him as Jose is, but I knew him as a football player, and he had kegs, and like he was always cool.
Yeah.
But now if you ask about him, he's a smart ass, like, financial kid that motivates people.
Yeah, it's growth.
You wouldn't even like think about drinking when his name came up. Like,
same shit with him.
And that's with me from like seeing that from afar, because like we're not really close. Like, that's Jose's boy, but just seeing that, I was like, I could see it, and I think that's awesome.
It's growth, and it's, if you're not growing, you're not doing it right.
What's it called? The movement on Instagram.
The movement, movement.
_20 or something.
That's
like
his Instagram.
That. Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. Hell yeah.
But like I was saying, me and him were going at it, bro. Like, he got me in the best shape that I've ever been in my whole entire life.
Good.
Like, and you know, I got a girlfriend, and then like, you know, you get that. It's that first year, you know. We just got comfortable, and like, I told myself too, dude, I did not want to do that shit. Like, I didn't want to get comfortable, like. But it was just like hard, and I was just happy as shit, dude. Like, you know, it was just, it was weird for me. Like, I never really felt that with somebody. Yeah, exactly. And then I don't know. I just got to the point where I'm like at now, where I'm just like if me and her are gonna go anywhere, like I need to keep fucking pushing. You know, like I need to get back on my shit, and that's really what like I'm doing this year is just 100%. Like I obviously am gonna drink. Special occasions and shit, especially if the Eagles go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right.
Go Birds.
Yeah,
I got a tailgate announcement coming next week. So.
Hell yeah, bro. Make sure that generator works.
Yeah, you know it's crazy. Yeah, so I know you were finishing it. So I knew you said you were going to work on fitness and really push it, and you know you got the honeymoon, put the honeymoon weight on.
Yeah, for sure.
Work that off.
But like I was saying that, like, I'm really just gonna, cause right now I'm like, I've just been like, I'm basically like a general contractor. You know, like, not really, but I do like a lot of side work with my cousin and stuff. And I don't know. It's just, I've never wanted to work for anybody. Like, that's my main thing. And I do enjoy, like, I catch myself like watching a bunch of like, you know, videos like Mr.Beast videos and shit. Like,
I love YouTube. I'll be the first one to say it.
Yeah, dude. I catch myself like in wormholes of that shit, and like I really want to learn that shit, because like, you know, it feels good giving like it out to people. But if I had more, dude, I would go
Yeah.
crazy. You know, like I'd be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you later off camera about the Grace Project.
Yeah, we'll talk all about that shit. Yeah, 100%.
About how you do a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, I was gonna say, what's interesting is like, and people forget this too, and I know you guys know this stuff, but I kind of like think about it all the time. You want to be able to do all these grand scale things, which is amazing, but you also have to fill your own cup before you can fill anyone else's.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
For sure. Yeah, that's. I completely understand it. That's why I'm saying, like, I just don't feel like I'd be able to get to like my full potential ever working for somebody else.
No, you can't.
Like, I want, like, that's why, like, my main goal for this year is working on myself, working on Clear Mind, and
respect.
Hell just like being happy.
Hell yeah, man. What about you, Connor?
Definitely. Ever since college is over, I definitely stopped drinking nearly as much as I used to. But this year, I was actually telling him and Stella, his girlfriend, like at like, I don't know, New Year's Day when we were all like drunk. We were talking at the end of the night, and I was like, dude, I just want to be a better dude this year. Just like a nicer person.
Yeah.
And recently I have done a lot of stuff that, like, it sounds ironic that I haven't told anyone, but now I'm saying it on a podcast. But like there was a guy in the gym about 2 weeks ago or a week ago.
You told me about this.
Yeah.
We talked about it that night.
And that night we talked about it in a wheelchair. Just walked up to him and went, like, I was like, yo, dude, like, you really motivated me to go hard today. And like, I'm sure, like, his smile seeing that was like, thanks, man, like, blah blah blah, what's your name? We got to talking, and then you know, like, I got a Wawa gift card from my girlfriend's grandmom.
Hell yeah.
And I was at Wawa about to get gas, and I saw these 3 homeless people just sitting there. I was like, all right, dude, I work. I can buy my $25 gas. So I just bought them a bunch of, like, 3 Sizzlies and some drinks.
Yeah. And
they didn't even ask, too. Like, and I really think if they begged, I would have maybe not been as...
Well, yeah, it's like the reverse psychology, but it's...
Yeah.
You know what's funny, though?
I could just tell, and I was like...
And that just shows your character, both your characters. And the biggest part of life is the little things. And when people start to learn that and realize that is when it really... You know, that's when things start to turn around. It's the little things like, you know, you giving your, you know, someone used to babysit you $100 who can now afford gifts for, you know, gifts or whatever they need, right? And the same thing for the homeless person. Like, it's just the showing the act of kindness, that no matter how big or small, it gives it a chance to be passed forward. You know, like a virus. You know, you do something to someone else, they feel nice because you showed them kindness. Now they show it to somebody else, and it just kind of goes on.
Yeah,
I'm still waiting for that blessing.
It's like
it'll come.
I know it'll be a big one too.
It'll come when you
it'll be a big one.
And you can't go into those things expecting things back.
Never. But it's always from the heart. It has to be. It can't be premeditated.
Yeah, and I had like I have like influencers and DJs and all these people on, and one thing they all tell me is the biggest key to being successful is just be a good person. You know,
for
no matter what,
just do everything you're doing 100% and don't dick anybody over. You know,
exactly. Just be genuine.
A lot of people don't think. A lot of people think beating somebody down or like talking shit on them like is gonna up you, but it's for the moment maybe. You know, for the people that you're talking to maybe, but like eventually like everything comes to light. Yeah, like your true character will show. Yeah,
I think it also is a growing thing too. I remember like when it's funny, I always talk about it, like when I started like I started off doing like you find your lane eventually, right? So I remember I always wanted to do something on the like internet. I always wanted to post, you know, I always wanted to figure out what my thing was. I like being creative, I like making stuff, right? So it's like I started off doing like reaction videos of songs, and then like they would get like thousands of views, and then you get like the people in the Northeast talking shit and dick eating, which is like completely understandable. I get it, dude. But you learn, right? And then it's like you start DJing, and then like people kind of like you're 16 years old and you start DJing, and it's like, what are you DJing? Like that bullshit, right? So it's like, let me find it's like, and it's funny as shit. Though. It's funny, but when you're 16 years old and you're developing your brain and you're
it affects you.
Developing who you are, it fucks with you, right? And
basketball, worst anxiety ever. I think. Judge Ryan game.
Yeah, those are the best.
Seeing the, I mean, I had the fun game. I mean, we lost, but I think it was like probably one of the coolest experiences. Yeah. But what you said about the Northeast. First of all, like I remember even joining frat. Like everyone when I came home, slapped me in the back of the neck. Like, you know,
they're gonna think frat
boy.
Yeah, all that.
Yeah.
But those dudes, me and him were talking today, those dudes are the ones that show the most love. And
Exactly.
And honestly, being from the Northeast, I think it's great for people like us.
Yeah, for sure.
Because like you got tough skin, you hear a lot.
Yeah.
And like all those kids in high school, or even before that, were talking shit or didn't fuck with me, or would, you know, like want to fight me or some shit like that. DM me now asking for hoodies.
Yeah, and that's
and I think that's the funniest stuff ever. I'm like, thank you for supporting my brand without even liking me.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is that
it's the best. Like,
everyone grows, like you were saying.
It's
but they grow too.
That's all bullshit. Like high school is high school.
It ain't petty though. Like I said, like that came off petty, but there's growth in them asking as well.
Exactly.
That's humbling as
and
well.
That's what I
understand.
yeah. And that's where I understand exactly what you're saying, and that's what it is. It's just growth, and you have to, as someone who is eventually starting to get the respect, because in the beginning it's so easy to just talk down on anything that someone's trying to do, and that takes a lot of courage on your part to be able to push through it and keep going. And then once you do start getting the respect, it's your obligation to be respectful to them. As much as you don't want to be, you have to, because they're showing you a sign of respect, right? And you just have to respect that, you know.
100%.
Everyone changes, everyone grows. You know, I remember when I first started the podcast, I had an instant where someone was talking shit in a group chat about me, and my best friend told me about it, and he told me who it was. I was like, okay, interesting. Okay, that's fine.
Probably dapped you up when they saw you.
So they came up to me trying to dap me up, and I said no. I said, listen, like respectfully, like, no, I heard what you said. I showed him the messages, and he said, actually, you know what, dude, like, I actually have a lot going on too, like with my family. And then we had a heart-to-heart conversation, and it's just people. I don't blame them. It's easy to talk down on someone who's trying to do something and build something, but it's just you know, you have a simple conversation with them, and a lot of times they're feeling the pain, and they haven't been through the phases that someone creating something has, where they respect somebody who's doing what they're doing, you know, because it's not common, right? And especially in Northeast, where everyone talks about it as a bubble, you know, and I think like trying to change that narrative a little bit as we get older and start to grow and develop is something that's important. But you know, it's just interesting to see that stuff. But what are your favorite parts about having this brand? Like, and what are some exciting like opportunities you've had, or some things you do to help grow the brand?
The most exciting thing for me, I think, is seeing people's reactions, but not reactions to, you know, that hoodie's fire. It's more of like I get DMs a lot now, like but I mean on the page, you know.
Yeah.
Like this lady hit me up. Not even this lady. My friend's mom hit me up and was like, "You're such an inspiration." Like on the page, not my, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But she was like, "You guys are such an inspiration." She bought like $300 worth of stuff for her family for Christmas.
Sick.
Like
That's
instead of
so cool.
buying like this is name brand actually, but you know what I mean.
CLR Mind is name brand. Yeah.
But instead of buying that stuff, she
dude.
blessed them with a bunch of CLR Mind stuff for Christmas. But then like
Just as good.
I've had like this old lady came up to me when we did the tie-dye shirts, and she was like, "What is this?" At Westchester, we used to have pop-ups. Random lady, and I told her about the brand. She like started tearing up and was like, my daughter killed herself, died of suicide recently, and she loves tie-dye, and this shirt just reminded me of her, so I'm gonna buy this for my daughter. And I was like, I don't even want to charge you, like,
No.
you know what I mean? Like, I was like, take the shirt.
It hits
like,
you, right? Yeah.
But like, she was like, this like made my day, and I was just like, damn, that stuff's awesome.
Yeah, it hits.
That's
right.
what excites me.
Yeah.
And then stuff like Core, like that was exciting.
Yeah, dude, that was awesome. I'll get into that.
Yeah,
We could get into that, but my favorite part is like seeing people and like our stuff, like that I don't even know.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Like sometimes, like I literally like, cause Conor was living up Westchester, but bro, I was damn near living there up. Like,
you're up there all the time, right?
Yeah, but
You walk
like
around.
it was cool seeing it up there. Like you like get, at least me, every time I've gone up, I seen one person wearing like our merch, and sometimes I would know them, sometimes I didn't have a clue who they were.
Yeah.
But then when I started coming to Philly and seeing some people that I didn't even know in Philly wearing CLR Mind, I was like, oh shit. I was like, dude,
it's
this
inspiring,
is
right?
like, I literally had some dude, I guess he knew Conor more, like, or like somebody up from Westchester.
Right.
But it was like St. Patty's Day, like last year, like the keg crawl or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude's walking. I didn't even notice this, dude. I'm walking in and some dude walks out. My boy's like, yo, ain't that your hoodie? I look at him. I'm like, oh, shit. I was like, CLR Mind, let's go. And he was just like hype. He's like, yeah. I was like, where are you from? He's like, Westchester. He's like, yeah. Like talking about how he got it from like one of Conor's friends and Sig Ep.
Hell yeah.
I was like, yeah, dude, that's fucking awesome. Like,
That's tough, man.
It was just
Yeah.
awesome, and I seen like 2 other people wearing it like that same exact day, and it just
It was
like
funny. There was
Yeah.
my friend sent me a video up in Newtown, like like an hour away,
Yeah.
of like some random kid wearing a Clear Mind hoodie, and zoomed in and was like, you know this kid, and I was like, nah, no clue. And then Jose, like I sent it to Jose and was like, yo, someone hit me up too. Like I think one of my boys is wearing it. So my friend like didn't know. He walks up.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, you know Conor? Like that's his brand. And he was like, who the fuck's Conor? He was like,
That's
this
crazy.
is my,
Yeah,
nah,
that's
but he was
cool.
like, this is my boy Jose, and my boy was
Oh,
like,
shit.
nah, it's my boy Conor. So they almost like fought at the bar. Like
That's awesome.
Yeah.
See 2 dudes outside in Clear Mind hoodies.
Yeah.
Like, that's funny as shit,
Yeah,
but
no. Like-
it's like the opposite of
Yeah.
But no, it was funny. Like they made up, they shook hands and were like, oh,
Yeah.
they're boys. Like that's awesome.
Yeah.
But it's
So-
cool. I've really seen it grow. Like
do you find yourselves fall in love with the hustle?
oh, 100%.
it's my favorite part.
Yeah. Like I've recently just told Conor, like we always have all these ideas and stuff, and like
It's hard.
we're
dude.
using
I'm so
we're
busy.
using yeah we're like yeah
I'm an
for
accountant.
sure.
Like I fucking
Yeah.
crunch numbers all day,
Yeah.
and then sell T-shirts and hoodies, and have
Yeah.
to make that and ship them out from my house, and
Yeah.
drives up to blah 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 to Jersey here to go and get embroidery, and
Yeah.
he's working construction. Like it's hard. Like
Yeah.
if it takes 2 months to drop, people don't realize it's because we gotta wait. We gotta get it embroidered.
We also got- yeah
Some of them get messed up, and we gotta send them back, get our money back. Like we've
Yeah.
lost money on drops.
Yeah.
It's like we also could do a way better job at like time management, which I feel like we're gonna really like lock down on
This year, yeah.
This year.
We already have what we're gonna drop in like February now.
Yeah.
That's
like,
awesome.
So,
Hell yeah.
So
we got
but it,
these like just we're starting to do little drops in between a bigger drop. Like
Yeah.
instead of like dropping hoodie. If it takes 2 months to drop hoodies, we'll just drop beanies in between.
Yeah. That's
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
we're
Or
gonna start,
hats
like-
or shorts. Like
Yeah,
trying to
diversifying like
yeah, and
a lot of
I'm
our
not gonna
stuff.
lie, I'm really impressed. I was looking on your website and looking at your just even like the graphics you guys put together, and I'm very very impressed. And I love what you guys are doing. So diving into I know we talk a little bit about like the business side and the hustle side, but the personal side of like you guys are both in relationships. Is there anything that like being with a significant other has taught you guys when it comes to just living?
I could say for both of us, our girlfriends make us 10 times better.
100%, dude.
Both of us,
100%.
Stella and Lexi, like
Real ones.
yeah.
Shout out y'all. real.
And like we've been together 2 years is February 1st, but she's made me so much better. I fucked up a lot, and like that's something I even try to work on. Like we break up, I drink, I fight,
Yeah.
dumb shit like that. But yeah, I mean the last 6 months have been great, and then
Yeah.
maybe longer than that. But yeah, it makes me a lot better, and I know Stella makes him a whole lot better. So
Yeah, we've been together for like a year and 7 months,
Yeah.
I think.
Hell yeah.
Pretty
but
sure.
they're like number
But-
one supporters of Clear Mind.
Yeah, dude. Like they just show like how he said like a lot. Like I remember, like me and her arguing, and I don't know. Like I was doing like fucking. I don't even know what I did. It was just something that didn't make her happy, but it was making me happy. You know. But I wasn't like I was just like pushing it away.
Not thinking about her.
Yeah,
you
not
know?
thinking about her. Thinking about like just being selfish.
Yeah.
And like she's the one that really like told me like you're kind of being like a hypocrite, you know, because you're promoting mental health awareness, but what you're doing isn't like it's making me feel like shit.
Right.
And I'm like, oh shit. I was like, you're like 100% right, you know, and it wasn't like nothing crazy, you know.
No,
Like,
but it's like the accountability that it's, and that's the beauty of having a brand, right? Is that like you are a part of something bigger than yourself, so you have to like hold yourself accountable
for sure.
and you're allowed to make mistakes. Like that's a part of your journey. You're a human being at the end of the
yeah,
day.
exactly.
You know what I mean? But so what are you guys looking forward to in the next year? Like what are you guys most excited about this year?
I want to keep doing videos like we're bad at like drop, honestly.
Yeah,
I want to keep
I,
doing that. Like
I like even when I was younger, I did videos a lot. I had a YouTube channel. I had a duct tape wallet channel. I've
Oh,
always
yeah.
liked that stuff. I think the clothing brand was like a branch off of that. But like you said, I want to get into a lot more videos and like advertising. Like we suck at marketing.
It's tough.
yeah, that's something like
We
we're
like
trying, like we're really trying to like learn. Honestly, like
Yeah.
me like
it's kind of why I got him in to be like
Yeah.
my marketing guy when I was like busy, like
Yeah.
because I run the Instagram. He helps a lot, but you know what I
Yeah,
mean. Like
yeah.
I have my hand in everything, like
Yeah.
the inventory,
dabble
the
in everything.
designs, and everything.
For sure.
But then he's also like the marketing type guy, like word of mouth, all that shit.
Right. Yeah.
But we need to find a way
And
where
sales.
we can do it together in an efficient way.
Yeah.
you
You
know?
figure it out every time, and
Like I feel like I just like I want to really connect with like our audience more. You know,
for sure.
Like I don't want to like I just want to have more conversations with people. Like kind of how you're doing, honestly. Like a Clear Mind podcast would be awesome.
Yeah,
but-
I was low key thinking that. but-
yeah, because it's like for real, dude. Like I love talking to people. Like
Yeah,
it's just like that. I'm not the type of person that's gonna go out of my way and just like talk to you. Like like
it's
I'm
tough.
like people. Like that's the thing. Like I'm just like if I'm cool with you, bro, you're gonna see a whole different side of me. If I don't like, if I'm not cool with you, you know, because like I'm
Yeah,
gonna
if I
just
don't
be
know
like,
you, you probably think I don't like you just
yeah,
based off
exactly.
How I
You
act.
probably think I'm a
Like,
weirdo,
yeah,
just sitting there.
I
in
might know
silence.
someone and like respect them just from seeing them, but
Yeah.
like they might not think I fuck with them because I might not shake their hand when I say like I'm not gonna go out of my way.
It's an access thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real. Like that's what I really want. Like I would,
Yeah.
dude. If you watch this podcast, talk to me.
Yeah, reach
I'm
out.
not an asshole.
And that's-
I might have been an asshole before, but I'm really not.
But
Hey,
no, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited for a lot.
Life's about growth. Life's about learning, and life's about moving on from stuff that's happened. You know, it's all about how you evolve. It's all about what you do next. You're only as good as the last thing you've done, right? So if you continue to do good and continue to build and have a clear mind, I wanted to ask as well. So I know you guys have had crazy upbringings that we've hit on. For my audience who watches, and for your audience who's watching, what is something you would tell a 16-year-old or a 20-year-old, whoever's going through some of the similar things you're going through? What is some advice you would have for them?
It's a good ass question.
I can hop in real
Yeah,
quick.
go ahead.
'Cause
Dude. I love
I
to
say
think
same
about
thing,
that.
I've been,
Go ahead.
because we want to go back to Judge our high school and talk
hell
to the
yeah.
kids. So I've been thinking about that question for months.
Yeah.
I've been emailing them, and
Yeah,
we're gonna go.
I actually got something written down.
We're gonna go, but
I don't want to say it. I want to.
what I want to tell them really, because that's basically what you're asking is, I think the best way to tell them is to tell our story, but then also to just tell them to like not react to their emotions, to use their emotions, in their favor, not against them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm reading Rich Dad Poor Dad right now, and something
heard good things about it.
it's a great book. But something I thought about, or not I thought about, that I noticed was that usually when we have an emotion, we just react, right? But what if you get mad at something and right before you react, you think, okay, I'm mad right now. Okay, why am I mad? What am I gonna do about this? Am I gonna punch that dude in the face, or am I gonna, all right, maybe I shouldn't be mad about this. It ain't that deep.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, I think about some stuff. I mean, I keep going off topic, but like before, I would get mad about something. Now I'm like, dude, life, it ain't that deep. Like my mom,
Yeah.
like that's something that I
Could be
care-
worse.
Yeah, exactly. So I would tell them to not react to their emotions how at least we did, and to honestly to cope with stuff as like talk to people. Like
Yeah.
don't think you're the man. Don't
hold it in.
Don't hold it in. Just that's what I would tell at least my younger self. I would tell my younger self to definitely talk to people and don't react to your emotions. Like use your emotions as
Right. As a tool.
yeah.
I'd tell him, do something, dude. If you think smoking weed and going to kegs like is all you should be doing right now in high school, that's how I thought. Honestly, I thought, dude, I'm gonna be once I'm out of high school, like life's gonna hit, dude. If you start something right now, and you really just, dude, 10 minutes a day,
Good eats.
10 minutes a day,
Yeah.
like that's all you need. Like just find something that you enjoy doing and just like try to do something with it. Like
Yeah.
don't just like
Don't worry about.
don't just keep going. Like just don't do nothing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like how I cope with my shit, like video games, like just
Yeah.
doing that shit. Like I regret it. Like soon as I got out of high school, I was like, holy shit, there was so much more stuff that I could have done with all this free time.
Yeah.
That like now I gotta fit into my schedule.
Yeah.
And like work around it, you know.
Yeah.
But like how it's literally like when you like, you're not supposed to think in the past, but I'm always thinking in the past, like, which is one of like my like flaws.
Yeah.
But like there was so much shit that I was in the position to do so much shit in high school that I'm like doing now and stuff. And I'm just like, imagine if
you could have been doing it earlier.
Imagine if I had this mentality when I was 16.
Yeah, you also have to remember though, like the mentality you have now is because of you not doing shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's something I struggle with a lot too. I lived in LA in 2018 for 6 months for an internship.
Sheesh.
Best 6 months of my life, and I was like, how the hell am I ever gonna come back? And you know, how am I gonna finish my senior year? I'm gonna go right back. So
That was college?
Yeah, junior year summer, going into senior year, I went to LA for a summer for an internship. And it was crazy. The first person I met there was London Tipton, the girl Brenda Song, in line, and Macaulay Culkin. I met them in line at a grocery store, and
London Tipton.
it was crazy. Like
You probably thought every day was gonna be
everywhere else,
like,
yeah, it's like normal shit. And then like I met like a lot of like Deshaun Jackson. Like I worked with a lot of celebrities down there, and it was the coolest thing ever. And then you come back to Northeast, and it's like shit. But what I learned ultimately, you know, and then COVID hit, so that I couldn't go back, and LA became super bad. So I ended up staying here, and it turned into this and the Grace Project, all that stuff. But my point is that your mindset when you're younger is not the same as it is now, and the only reason why your mindset is the way it is now is because of who you were back then. You always think to yourself, I don't ever want to be that person again. So if you're always that person you wanted to be, how the fuck are you ever gonna grow? How are you gonna ever adapt, right? So it's just something to think about that I always think about when I blame myself for not taking opportunities in college, whether it's screwing around or doing whatever, you know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like how I said, like I do think about it sometimes, but I'm good at also like, you know, that little voice in your fucking head.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've got it, but I definitely do. And like
everyone does.
Like I just got good. Like when I have just a bad thought or some shit, I just hear like, the fuck are you thinking about this for? Like, you know, and then it just goes away.
I think I've learned to like how I said how I made the negative into a positive, like with the foundation and all that. Even my thoughts, I'm just like, if you just focus on negative shit, just
you're gonna be negative.
Yeah, I really feel like you do have to kind of train yourself to think like positively.
It's an active choice to think positive,
and it's like never ending. It's always happening.
Right.
Like no matter what you're doing, you are thinking about something, and you can think about it in a different way or a lighter way, or you know what I mean. Like
exactly.
The perspective is really it. It's all about perspective. Is life.
My grandma will end off on this. My grandma told me the wisest quote she's ever said, and it's so simple, but she always tells me when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And it's as simple as perspective. You know, it's all perspective, man. That's all life is. It's perspective. How you see things, how you see yourself, how you see the next person, you know, in Kensington, or how you see the person in line at Target. It's all about how you see other people, and ultimately it comes from a reflection of yourself, and that comes from work, it comes from reading, it comes from going to the gym, it comes from just taking care of yourself, being a good fucking person, you know.
Yep.
But boys, thank you so much for coming on. Clear Mind. If you guys haven't checked out any of the merch, it is fire. It's soft. Let's see. We got these hats here. Check out the hats too. Check out the entire website. Everything will be linked in the description. Anything else you guys want to end off with?
I got one thing I want to say. It's kind of full circle. So, like you said, we're in Kensington right now. And I talked about my dad earlier, but growing up, my dad would bring me to Kensington all the time. Weekends, I would pee in bottles for him, not thinking, like passing his drug tests and stuff.
Jesus, you just dropped us at the end of the bike.
Well, I thought we were gonna go, but we went from stealing stuff out of people's houses, me thinking it was for charity at 4 or 5 years old, in Kensington, to getting him getting arrested and stuff, to me now being here talking about mental health in Kensington. I think that's pretty fucking cool.
I think that's pretty fucking cool too.
It's pretty full circle to. I used to hate Kensington, not because, you know, the stereotype, but because of where I would come down here every weekend from age like 4 to
That's how you were
10.
raised. You were growing up to think that I only went there to rob people. And
well, I wasn't like, Yeah, I came out from. Yeah,
I know
he
you're-
was robbing people, and I was in the car, helping, like, you know.
You're 4 years old, bro. No one's gonna.
Yeah, no,
Right.
but
You're gonna get got, bro.
Yeah, right. I'm about
FBI's
to-
gotta fucking slide through.
Nah, he already got booked. It's cool.
They're in this closet right
Yeah,
here.
but no, I appreciate you having me.
That's
like,
amazing.
That's when you sent your address, I was like, that's pretty cool.
That makes me happy.
I'm back in Kensington.
It makes me happy to hear that.
And
Well,
for a good
this was
good
awesome.
reason. Yeah,
For
Yeah.
sure. This makes me like this. I really appreciate you having us on here. This
Yeah.
makes me like I was always iffy about having like a podcast, and now that I'm just sitting here, I'm just like, dude, this is
it's
this
dope.
is it.
be
Yeah,
chiefing
you
in
know?
my
It's dope,
podcast.
right?
Yeah, do whatever you want on my podcast. I don't care. Just
Well,
come
listen,
and talk.
I'll help you guys with whatever you need. Set up anything. I got you. All right.
I appreciate
My
it.
Ladies
man.
and gentlemen, hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'm Kev. That's Jose. It's Connor. Peace, guys.
Thank you,
Peace out.
guys.